All right, hello. It is Friday, April 17th, and today is your Q&A for AP English 4. So today we'll take questions about the AP test. We'll take questions about pulling specific text evidence out of passages, the last 6 weeks, any other questions that you might have. So come on in, introduce yourself, and if you have questions, you can be posting them in Remind or on YouTube Live. Today, the class was about going into a passage and finding text evidence that you want to use. They did bring up an interesting point, because since you'll be looking at the test on a computer instead of the normal way, then the best way for you to do that might be to either obviously print it if you have a printer, but a lot of us don't. So if you don't have a printer, that's okay. You can see the question on your computer screen, and then you can take written notes if you like. In the lesson, they put out a 9-box graphic organizer, splitting the passage into beginning, middle, and end. And then there are 3 boxes for each section of the passage. The what, in other words, what you see, how, and that would be the devices, and then the why, so the effect that the device has. For example, if you see in the beginning a shift in tone, or not necessarily wouldn't see a shift in the beginning, but in the beginning, if you see something that tells you that the character has a certain attitude about a situation, that would be the what. Maybe the character feels conflicted about a situation. Or maybe at the beginning of the passage, a character is optimistic. Well, then your what might be, what do you see that shows that optimism? Is it an element in the setting? Is it a sunny day? Is it something the character says that shows optimism? Maybe an image the character creates, a metaphor, simile, things like that. And then the effect, how does that device that you chose operate? Because it's not enough just to say, oh, we've got this metaphor of the sun. It's also important to say, what the effect of that metaphor does, how the appearance of the sun creates the effect that you say that it is. Because you might know it in your own mind, but your reader may not follow you. But that is an interesting question, and it's one that I'm challenging you to think about over the weekend. What's your strategy going to be as far as taking notes from an online screen that you can write for? Because all year we've practiced annotating on the page, highlighting on the page, and that's going to be tough to do because you're going to hit a protected website, which means it's not clear whether you'll be able to highlight on the screen using your mouse. So finding ways to take notes on the written pages, that'll be something that we work on next week. The AP review lessons next week will break down the essay step by step. And so we'll be looking at those and going through your revision for essay 6, and then working on building essay 7. So less close reading next week, more of the writing process will be where we go, because we're getting closer. Today is April 17th. Your test is May 13th. So that means there are 26 calendar days, including weekends, until the test. So what's your work to do over the weekend? If you have not turned in practice essay 6, you need to get that turned in today or tomorrow. Monday, I'll have a list of common issues, in other words, issues that a lot of people have with their essays, and going over revisions. I'll have a video about that. That should be up by 9 or 9:30. And then we'll go into the live review class at 11, and then we'll have Q&A at 11:50. So there'll be 2 things for you to look at next week on Monday. And then we'll see. We will be in the live class with the AP people every day, because they're going to go through the essay from beginning to end. So it kind of makes sense to follow that sequence. and then we'll have Q&A, and I'll add my own thoughts as well. So if we have any questions, now is a good time to put them in YouTube Live or Remind. Let's see what we see here. Okay, so I don't see any questions on Remind, and I don't see any in YouTube Live. So if you run into issues between now and then, you have questions about the test, send me them in Remind, and I'll answer them. I put some senior information from Ms. Holmes up in Google Classroom yesterday that you should consider. There are some Zoom meetings that you may have missed, but the video should be preserved. You should be able to go to those links and find those. And obviously, Ms. Ward is your senior assistant principal, so you can email her at tamward@dallasisd.org if you or your parents have questions. Or if you have questions you want to send them to me, I'll pass them along to her and see what she says. So have a good weekend. We'll see you Monday for the revision session, the live class, and then the Q&A.